In this video, we will study a new chapter called Fundamentals of Partnership Accounting. And in this, we will see its introduction and preparation of profit and loss appropriation account, partners capital account, and partners current account. So if you need this PDF format of this lecture video, you can contact me. So what is partnership? By partnership, we mean a form of business in which two or more than two persons are involved so that they can carry out a business together with a common objective. And what is the objective? The objective of the business is to earn the profit. So, partnership uh, firm is defined by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. As you can see here, you can pause the video and have a look. Now, let us discuss features of partnership. Feature number A, there is always the involvement of two or more than two individuals in the partnership firm. At least there should be two number of partners, otherwise the partnership can never be formed. And the maximum number of the partners as prescribed by Indian Companies Act 2013 is 50. Feature number B, agreement. There should be the agreement between the partners. Okay, and this agreement is known as partnership deed or articles of partnership. The agreement can be of two types, formal and oral. That is, by formal, I mean the written agreement. Okay. Lawful business. Yes, in partnership, the business is carried out to perform legal activities. Any unlawful activities or misconduct, or if there is anything which is illegal, is not carried out here. Only the legal business is carried out. That is, a business is carried out in a legal way. Profit sharing. The partners share the profits as per the prescribed ratio that is mentioned in their partnership deed, or if there is no partnership deed, then they will share the profits equally. The business is carried out by all the partners or by any one of them acting for all. What is this point? Point number E. Let me tell you an example. If there are three partners, partners A, B, and C. Now, if A decide that he will be the acting partner and B and C will not work, okay? So in this case, A is acting for all, isn't it? So A is acting as the active partner. So he can act for all, okay? But sometimes what may happen is that all the partners may work together. Partners A, B, and C will share the work and they work together. They will all be the acting partner in the partnership firm. Now, the last feature, that is unlimited liability. Yes, in partnership, the partners they enjoy the unlimited liability. Okay, they can invest to whatever extent they can. If the partnership firm needs more capital, they can make the investment out of their personal source of income also. Okay, they can bring whatever asset or capital into the business, unlike in the form of joint stock company, where the liability is limited. Now, the types of partnership. The partnership is uh, divided on the two bases as mentioned here. Uh, Type A, on the basis of business carried out by the partnership, okay, which is general partnership, okay, and specific or particular partnership. And on the basis of duration of partnership, partnership is classified as partnership at will and partnership for fixed duration. In this video, I will not discuss about these types of partnership. Okay, if you want, then I can make a separate video for this. Okay, so there is one more form of partnership here, okay, which is called LLP, which is a limited liability partnership, okay, which is actually a corporate form of partnership. Okay, it is just like the company. Here, the partners they have the limited liability. Okay, let us suppose the partners are A, B, and C again. Okay, so here in this limited liability partnership, each partner will have the limited amount of liability, which means that he or she can bring a certain amount of capital. Beyond that level, they cannot raise the capital. Okay, but in other forms or in the basic form of partnership, like you can see here in type A and type B, there is no such limitation, as we have already discussed here in the feature of partnership, that they enjoy unlimited liability. Okay, only in another form of partnership, which is known as limited liability partnership, the partners, they have limited amount of liability. Now, what do you mean by partnership deed? By partnership deed, we mean an agreement uh, between the partners of partnership, okay, which is also known as articles of partnership. I have described this earlier also, and the partnership deed can be oral as well as written. Okay. Now, why the partnership deed is important? Partnership deed is important because it governs the rights, duties, and liabilities of each partner. Okay. And if there is any dispute arising, the partners can settle on the basis of uh, such partnership deed. Okay, they can also take the matter to the court and settle their dispute. But if the partnership deed is oral, then in the eyes of law, the partners are to be sharing profits and losses equally. Okay, we will discuss this point further. Okay, so is it essential to have a partnership deed? No, it is not that necessary to have a partnership deed, because anytime the two persons or more than two, they can always come together to form a partnership deed, and they can always start a new partnership firm. But it is advisable to have a written partnership deed. Okay, so what are the provisions in absence of partnership deed? You can see here that no partners are to be allowed interest on capital, no interest on drawings to be charged, and no partners are entitled to get salary and commission. The profits and losses will be shared equally. And if any partner is providing loan or advance to the partnership firm, then the interest on such loan or advance is to be provided at the rate 6% per annum. And this interest on partners loan is the um, charge against profit. Okay, so it should be deducted before the net profit is calculated. Now, validity of partnership deed. So the partnership deed never comes to an end unless it is formed for a specific period or a specific purpose or for a particular venture. As you have already seen here, that the partnership firm can be a specific or particular partnership. Okay, so in such case, there is a validity of the partnership deed. Okay, the deed can be expired after uh, a particular period of time, or if the job is completed. Let us see here. um, okay, so let us see that in example, there is an agreement on construction of a shopping mall. Okay, and after the completion of the construction work, okay, the partnership deed is no more valid. So this example is taken from the specific or a particular partnership. Okay, but it should be noted that the partners can always cancel the partnership deed under mutual consent. Okay, and this is known as partnership at will. Okay, so other important provisions of Indian Partnership Act is prescribed below, as you can see here. You can pause the video and have a look. Okay, so these are certain basic points which I have mentioned here, as you can see on the screen. That who are partners? By partners, we mean those persons who enter into the partnership firm. Okay, so they individually are known as partners and collectively as firm. That is why we say partnership firm. Okay, so the minimum number of partners is 2 and maximum is 50. You already know this, isn't it? So, who can be a partner? Partner can be any person, okay, but excluding the followings. So, who are they? Minors, okay, those who are not having the right age. In India, the age is 18. So, whoever are below age 18, they can never be the um, partner. But under special provision, they can be made partners. Okay, there is a special provision in Partnership Act 1932. Minors can also be made partners only when there is a need. Okay, under a condition. Okay, So persons of unsound mind who are not having proper brain functioning, or their cognitive motor ability is not functioning properly, or who are mad in a way, who are crazy people, okay, they can never be the partners of a partnership firm. And if there is any person who is disqualified by any law, can never be a partner. For example, a criminal, okay, or a terrorist can never be a partner. Okay, maybe the examples are very aggressive, criminals and terrorists, but yeah, if they have violated any law, then they can never be a partner. But we have already seen in the gray market, that is a different form of market, okay, uh, the partners, they can always exist. Okay, anyway, so do partners and the partnership firm, they have separate legal entity? No, partners and partnership firm, they do not have separate legal entity, okay, unless it is limited liability partnership. Okay, only in case of limited liability partnership, they have separate legal entity, okay, but normally, or in the general form of partnership, they do not have separate legal entity. Okay, so we have discussed in class 11 about the entity concept of partnership, sorry, entity concept in the principle of accounting, that according to entity concept, uh, the individual or the owner of the business and the business, they both are separate entities, isn't it? So the same entity concept doesn't apply in case of partnership, but in case of LLP, limited liability partnership, it does exist. Okay, so now the types of partners. So as you can see here, and the rights of partners, you can pause the video and have a look. Okay, I will skip these points because I have to explain many things. If you want me to explain this, I can make a separate video for this again. Now, partnership accounting. Yeah, these are the things that I wanted to discuss, and this is the main motive behind this. Okay, making such a video. My main aim is to make you uh, sure that partnership accounting is very easy. Okay, whatever we have studied in class 11, the same principles are applied here, but partnership accounting is a little bit or slightly different from other forms of accounting. Okay, so let us start with partnership accounting. Okay, now it should be noted that the net profit is distributed uh, among the partners in the following forms, as you can see here: interest on capital, salaries to partners, and commission to partners. Okay, and the divisible profit. I will explain you how and why the net profit is distributed. Okay, why I am saying that it is the appropriation of profit, I will discuss it afterwards. Okay, but first of all, we should know that divisible profit, we should know this formula. Okay, this divisible profit is equals to a net profit. Sorry, the profit is omitting here. Net profit minus interest on capitals minus salaries to partners minus commission to partners if there is any, and plus interest on drawings if there is any. Okay, so let us discuss the methods of partnership accounting. So there are two methods of partnership accounting. Okay, fluctuating capital method and the fixed capital method. So under the fluctuating capital method, we prepare profit and loss appropriation account and partners capital account. And under fixed capital method, we prepare profit and loss appropriation account, partners current account, and partners capital account also, only when specified. Okay, if it is not specified by the question, then do not make it, because in the examination time we will not have much time. Okay, so if it is asked in the question, then you have to make it. Okay, or sometimes the question may say that prepare the necessary ledger accounts, then that time you have to make it. But if the question is specifically saying that prepare profit and loss appropriation account and partners current accounts, then prepare only profit and loss appropriation account and partners current account. Okay, now let us see what are these fluctuating and fixed capital method. Okay, So fluctuating capital method, okay, according to this method, whatever the adjustments, okay, whatever the adjustment that we have done here, see, interest on capital, salaries to partners, commission to partners, okay, and the share of profit also, all will be included in the partners capital account only, okay. So if there is any interest on drawings also, it will be uh, debited, and if there is any drawings also, it will be debited. So as per the fluctuating capital method, the amounts or the items to be credited are interest on capital, okay, interest on capital, salary to partners, commission to partners, and share of profit or the amount of divisible profit. And in the debit column, we will write the drawings, okay, and the interest on drawings. So as the name suggests, here, mm, that the capital of partners are fluctuating, isn't it? So the opening capital and closing capital, they differ from each other, okay. In case of fluctuating capital account, the opening capital and the closing capital can never be the same, because the items, okay, these items are included in the partner's capital account. These items appear in the debit column, sorry, credit column. Okay, fixed capital method. So under this method, we prepare a separate account called partners current account, and we include all those adjustments. Again, these interest on capital, salaries to partners, commission to partners, divisible, this divisible profit or the share of profit, the drawings, and the interest on drawings are to be included in a separate account called partners current accounts. And the items to be credited in this current account are interest on capital, salaries to partners, commission to partners, and the share of profit. And the item that is to be debited are drawings and the interest on drawings. Okay, so as the name suggests here, that the capitals of partners are fixed, and opening capital and the closing capital, they are always same. Okay, but in one condition, the opening capital and the closing capital may not match here under the fixed capital method. Okay, normally in case of fixed capital method, opening capital and the closing capital, they always match. But in one condition, it doesn't match. We will discuss it afterwards. Okay, let us see the features of profit and loss appropriation account. Okay, number one, it is the extension of profit and loss account. Okay, we all know that profit and loss account, it gives us the net profit, and in profit and loss appropriation account, we will show how that net profit is appropriated. By appropriated, we mean distributed among the partners. Okay, point number two, it is prepared only by the partnership firm. Yes, only in case of partnership firm we prepare profit and loss appropriation account. uh, okay, but in firms of business like sole proprietorship business, okay, joint venture, and other forms of business, we do not prepare profit and loss appropriation account. Okay, but if the company, okay, joint venture also are partnership firm, then we have to prepare profit and loss appropriation account. Okay, so this profit and loss appropriation account, it shows the appropriation or the distribution of net profit or loss for the accounting period. Okay, and we all know that accounting period is for 12 months. Okay, normally, in questions, okay, the opening date will be 1st April, and the closing date will be 31st March. This is the fiscal year. Okay, sometimes the question may start from I mean, the opening date may be from 1st January to 31st December, or sometimes the in question, the 1st July. Okay, 1st July can be the opening date, and 30th June can be the closing date. Okay, so as you can see here, the difference between profit and loss appropriation account and profit and loss account, you can always pause the video and have a look. Okay, I will not discuss this part. I'll skip this portion. If you want me to explain, I'll make a video separately. Again, the difference between fluctuating capital account and fixed capital account also, you can see here. Okay, you can have a look. You can pause the video and go through it. Again, I can make a video if you want me to explain, or if there's any question or doubt, you can contact me. Now, this shows the difference between capital account and current account, how the balances are there. Okay, what is the need of it, what is the nature? As you can see here, I was discussing that the balance of current account and capital account, it varies as per the method of accounting that we use. Okay, as per the fluctuating capital method and as per the fixed capital method. Okay. Okay, we should know this. Okay, whatever is coming in your screen, about the balance of partners' capital accounts. Okay, by balance BD we mean credit side. Okay, to balance BD we mean debit side. Okay, it is when the opening balance is credit or positive. Okay, if any balance of capital account is credit, it means it is positive. Okay, and if there is any balance of capital account which is debit, which means it is a negative balance, because we know that partners capital account, partners current account, and the profit and loss appropriation account, they are nominal account as per the golden rule. Okay, so they have the positive balance in the credit side, and their negative side is debit column or the debit side. Okay, as you can see here, the rule, okay, or the rule of this balance BD and balance CD, it is also applicable for the current account as well. And this line is for your reference, that sometimes the opening balance of current account is not given. Okay, and you have to follow the fixed capital method. Then how will you start making current account? You will start preparing this current account without having balance BD. Okay, because students, when they have to solve the question, they start looking for the balance BD. Okay, where is the balance BD? Where is the balance given of current account? How they ask me, sir, how can we prepare the current account when the balance is not given? You don't have to worry about the balance. Okay, we can always start a new thing. So you have to prepare the current account for the first time. So when you are preparing an account for the first time, it will have zero balance, isn't it? So the balance BD will be zero. So we will not write by balance BD in the credit side or debit side, as the case may be. Okay, as we already discussed here, that the nature of profit and loss appropriation account and partners capital account and partners uh, it is partners current account. Okay, partners capital account and partners current account, it is nominal account. They all are the nominal accounts. Okay. Again, I'm repeating that, you can always pause a video and you can have a look, or you can have the PDF format also, and you can ask me question anytime. Okay, so what are the charge against profits? So we should know what are the charge against profits. So these are the charge against profits: interest on partner's loan, manager's commission, manager's salary, or any rent that is to be given to the partner are also treated as the charge against profit. Okay, so charge against profit should be adjusted with net profit, and the remaining profit, that is adjusted profit, should be recorded in the credit side of profit and loss account. Because sometimes uh, in the question it will be mentioned that in the given net profit, let us say the net profit is okay, 2000 sorry 2,64,000. Let us suppose that. Okay, the net profit is 2,64,000, and the manager's commission or salary is rupees 64,000. Okay, which was not deducted. So how will we start making PL appropriation account? We cannot write by net profit 2,64,000, because this 2,64,000 is not the actual net profit, because out of which we have to subtract the manager's commission or salary of rupees 64,000, and we start with the amount of rupees 2 lakh, and we cannot record manager's commission in the PL appropriation account, because it is out of principle, because it is not to be recorded there. Okay, only the items that is related with the appropriation of the partners are to be recorded. Okay, any expense or any form of other transaction are not to be recorded. For example, interest on partners loan. Okay, this interest on partners loan should never be recorded in the partners, sorry, profit and loss appropriation account. Okay, managers commission, salary, and the rent also the same way. Okay, now let us see. Okay, that the drawings can be of two types. Now the normal drawings and the drawings made out of capital. Okay, how will we understand that the drawings can be of two types? Okay, so normal drawings and the drawings made out of capital, they both are different. Okay, so how it is possible that we can have normal drawings and the drawings made out of capital? In the question it will be mentioned. Okay, if it is mentioned specifically that the drawings were made out of capital, then it is drawings made out of capital. If nothing is mentioned about the drawings, okay, it is simply mentioned that the partners withdrew such an amount, okay, they withdrew amount rupees every month or during the year, then it is a normal drawings. Okay, but if it is mentioned exclusively that the drawings were made out of capital, then it is drawings out of capital. Okay, why it is important to note this? Because as I mentioned already, that in one condition, the opening capital and the closing capital of capital account under the fixed capital method may affect or may vary, isn't it? So here is this point. Drawings made out of capital only affects the balance of capital account under fixed capital method. Yes. If there is any drawings such like this, if the drawings were made out of capital, then it has to be recorded in the debit column of partners capital account under fixed capital method. Okay, and the normal drawings are to be recorded in the current account debit column. Okay, there is one more case, that if there is any introduction of further capital, or if any new capital is brought in, that time also the partners capital account balance may vary in case of fixed capital method. Okay, now interest on drawings. So the interest on drawings are to be charged from the partners whenever the partners they make the drawings. Okay, whatever be the kind, whether it be normal drawings or the drawings made out of capital, it doesn't matter. Okay, when the partners are drawing money out of their business firm, okay, so the interest should be charged on such drawings. So in question, the drawings, sorry, the interest on drawings will be mentioned. Okay, but along with the interest that is mentioned in the question, we have to uh, do this kind of adjustments also. Okay, in the question, let us say it is mentioned that interest on drawings is charged at the rate 4%, 6%, 8%, 7.5%, 10%. Okay, we will use that amount. Okay, let us say the amount is 10,000. Okay, the partners they have withdrew the amount of rupees 10,000, and at the rate 10%, we will have the interest on drawings for rupees 1,000, isn't it? But this is not the actual interest on drawings, because there will be the condition for the drawings made. Okay, so that is why we have to use these following rates also, as you can see here on your screen. We have to use these rates also along with the given rate in the question. Okay, so if the drawings were made during the year, okay, if any partner is withdrawing amount, a certain amount during the year, then we have to do this. Let us suppose that if the partner is drawing amount rupees 10,000, okay, and the interest rate is 10%, so the interest on drawings will be 1,000, isn't it? But in this particular example, I had not mentioned the date. So we have to multiply the amount by 6 by 12. So the actual interest on drawings will be 500. Okay, we will see in the illustrations afterwards, okay, what I mean by this kind of interest on drawings rate, such kind of things are here. Okay, so as you can see here, if any partner has withdrawn an equal amount, okay, um, per month, okay, if any partner is withdrawing every month, he is withdrawing the amount, let us say 1000, he is withdrawing 1000 every month. Okay, so then we have to follow such rates, because that particular partner may withdraw the amount on the first of each month, or in the middle, or at the end of the month. Okay, so if it is in the beginning of the month, or the first of the month, it should be 6.5 by 12, middle 6 by 12, and the end it is 5.5 by 12. Okay, similarly, if the partner has withdrawn the amount on each quarter, okay, beginning of quarter, middle of quarter, and the end of quarter, the following rates are to be applied along with the given rate. Okay, let me tell you one more time that these are not the actual rates. Okay, these are the sub rates that we have to apply. The interest on drawings will be charged on the rates that is mentioned in the question. The rate on interest on drawings will be mentioned in the question. Okay, for example, 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, 10%, 12%. These rates will be mentioned in the question. These are not the rates, but we have to use this also along with the given rate in the question. Let us see how this 6.5, 5.5, isn't it, 7.5, how they are coming. Let us see here, as mentioned here in this rational. Okay, I have explained here that how we are getting this 6 by 12, 6.5 by 12, 6 by 12, 5.5 by 12, 7.5, 4.5, as we have seen here. Okay, you must be wondering that how 4.5 is coming, isn't it? How 7.5, how 6.5, how 5.5? Okay, and why so? Why we will do 6.5? Why we will write 4.5, isn't it? So these are the explanation that you can see here. You can pause the video and have a look. By n here, I mean this n, as you can see here. By n, I mean the number of months. Okay, and in case of each month, okay, 1 month sorry, oh yes, in 12 months we have sorry, one year, in 1 year we have 12 months, isn't it? So 1 month, that is 1. That is why in case of each month we will do n plus 1. But in case of each quarter, okay, in case of each quarter, we have uh, okay, we have 4 quarters in a year. Okay, and 1 quarter is equals of 3 months. That is why we will write here n plus 3. That is 3 is used here in case of quarter. In case of quarter, we will use 3. Okay, plus 3 or minus 3. But in case of each month, that is 1 month, we will use 1 plus 1 or minus 1 here. Okay, so you can see here, as I have mentioned here. You can pause the video and have a look what has been mentioned here. Sorry, this interest on capital, it is not mentioned here, as you can see, because I want to make a separate video on this. Okay, I will make a separate video for interest on capital as well as the interest on drawings. Okay, now commission to partners. Now there are two types of commission: before charging commission and after charging commission. Before charging commission, we have to use this formula, that is rate by 100, and after charging, we have to follow this formula, that is rate divided by 100 plus rate. Okay, commission to partners is calculated on the following basis. Okay, as per the given condition. Okay, we cannot say that the commission to partner will be calculated on the net profit. We can always we cannot always say that, because it will be mentioned in the question. We have to go with the question. Okay, so whatever the question suggests, we have to follow that. Sometimes it will be mentioned that the commission to the partner should be calculated on net profit, or maybe on the adjusted net profit. Okay, or sometimes it should be on the divisible profit. So we have to follow the question. Okay, that is why I ask the students to read question all time, before you solve your question, just go through it, read. Okay, if you don't understand any question, then reread the question. Okay, read it for at least 2 times, then you will understand the question, then it will be in your mind for a certain period of time anyway. So now, guarantee to a partner. So there are two types of guarantee, that is guarantee by the firm and guarantee by a partner. So what do you mean by the guarantee now? By guarantee, we mean the minimum guarantee to a partner that has been given, or that has been guaranteed by a firm or a partner, that his profit of share will not be less than a certain amount of uh, profit that has been guaranteed. Okay, in guarantee, okay, or in this case of minimum guarantee, we guarantee a partner that your profit will not be less than rupees 10,000. Your profit will not be less than 50,000. Okay, so as you can see here in number one, guarantee by the firm. In this case, a partner is guaranteed a minimum amount of profit by the firm. Okay, any deficiency arising will be borne, I mean carried. Okay, will be carried out by the uh, other partners as per their profit sharing ratio. As you can see here in this example, that C has been guaranteed a minimum profit of rupees 20,000. Okay, so his profit, okay, in any year will not be less than 20,000. Okay, and A, B, and C are the partners sharing profits in the ratio given. Okay, as you can see here, 3:2:1. Okay, so it was guaranteed to C that his profit will not be less than 20,000. If it is more than 20,000, it is okay, no problem. Okay, in that case, you don't have to do anything. If the shared amount of profit is more than the guaranteed amount, you don't have to worry about. But if the shared amount of profit is less than the guaranteed amount, then that is the main problem area. Okay, so at that point of time, let us say in this question only, okay, in this example, uh, C was guaranteed 20,000, and let us say his shared amount of profit was 15,000. So what is the deficiency? The deficiency is, or the deficit is, 5,000, isn't it? So now this 5,000 will be shared by A and B as per their profit sharing ratio. So between A and B, the profit sharing ratio is 3:2. Okay, at this point of time, we will not take C. Okay, C's share of profit will not be taken in consideration, because C was guaranteed here. Okay, if it was B, okay, if B was guaranteed, okay, then this deficit were to be borne by A and C in the ratio of 3:1. Okay, and at that point of time, we will not consider B's share of profit. If it was A, then B and C would bear this deficit, that is in the ratio of 2:1. Okay, now guarantee by a partner. This is much simpler than guarantee by the firm. In this case also, I have used the same example as I have used before. Okay, so A, B, and C are the partners in the same ratio, and C was guaranteed a minimum amount of profit, that is 20,000, as like before here. Okay, but in case of the guarantee by a partner, it will be guaranteed by a certain partner. Okay, C has been guaranteed a minimum profit of rupees 20,000 by A. Okay, as you can read here in this example, that C has been guaranteed a profit of rupees 20,000 by A. It is mentioned here who is guaranteeing C. But in this guarantee by the firm, in this above example, if you see here, that C has been guaranteed a profit of rupees 20,000. See the language here. This is how in the exam time you will know that whether it is guarantee by the firm or guarantee by a partner. If a partner has been guaranteed, okay, and there is no name mentioned, a partner is guaranteed but the names are not mentioned, so then it is guarantee by the firm. If a partner is guaranteed and the name is mentioned, then it is guarantee by a partner. Okay, and let us see that the deficit of the partner C is again 5,000. Let us suppose that. Okay, and this 5,000 now will be borne by A. Only and only by A will be, A will be bearing this amount of deficit, and this deficit will be provided by A, so that C's share of profit will be 20,000. Okay. Now let us go to the last part of this video, that is past adjustments. Okay. Uh, while solving the questions, you must have noticed that there are many kinds of questions arising in the first chapter, that is fundamentals of partnership. Okay. The questions regarding with interest on capital, regarding this interest on capital. Okay. Sometimes you have to follow a fluctuating method, sometimes you have to follow a fixed capital method, and there are many adjustments. Okay. And there is the case of commission also, minimum guarantee, and similarly we have one more kind of problem, that is called past adjustments. I hope you remember that in class 11 we had studied a chapter called rectification of errors, isn't it? Yes, it is the same thing. Here in partnership accounting also, we do the rectification of errors, but it is called past adjustments. Okay, as you can see here, I have made a method here. Okay, it is not an official method. Okay, I like this method personally. Okay, there are many methods to solve this past adjustment question. Okay, there are many methods in the market. Okay, but I guarantee you that by following this method you will get the answer in no time. Okay, why to waste time so much, isn't it? Just go through this and you'll get the answer, because in the examination time, that's 3 hours time. How will you solve mm, so lengthy questions? Okay, we do not get time also, and for 4 to 6 marks, why will we spend our 15 to 20 minutes, isn't it? In 5 minutes you can get the answer. So, but in this method you have to follow certain steps. First we record the correct entry, and then the wrong entry will be passed. Okay, we find the difference between the right entry and the wrong entry. Okay, and whatever is the difference, we do the adjustment and we pass a journal entry. So uh, just remember this point, as I have mentioned here. Remember positive figure and the negative figure. If positive, this positive figure is the credit, okay, and negative figure will be debit. Because while passing a journal entry, we should know that which account is to be debited or which account is to be credited, isn't it? So this will guide you. This will be the indicator. This will guide you as a GPS. Okay. What do I mean by this? This past adjustments. Okay, by past adjustments, first you have to pass the correct entry, and then you will pass the wrong entry. Okay, you will find the difference between the right entry entry and the wrong entry. Okay, and you will distribute that amount of profit. Okay, and you will get a figure, a particular figure. I will show you in a later video that how can we do this past adjustments. Okay, but till that time, but till the next video comes, I want you to learn this properly. Okay, you can take the screenshot of this video, or you will have the PDF format also. Okay, I just want you to learn this, so that in the next video you will not be confused. And remember this part: positive figure and the negative figure. Okay, the main motto of this video is to make you familiar with the certain areas of partnership accounting, only the theoretical way. Okay, in a very theoretical manner, uh, I wanted to make you familiar with this partnership accounting. Okay, let us just see some famous formats or the pro forma of various accounts. So you can see that this is the pro forma or the format of profit and loss appropriation account. Net profit will be here in the credit side. Okay, this net profit sometimes can be adjusted net profit. Interest on drawings will be in the credit side, and these items will be in the debit column, that is interest on capital, salaries, commission, okay, and share of profit. And similarly, this partners capital account will also be formed, okay, by balance BD. We write this balance BD when the balances are positive. Sometimes in question it will be mentioned in question that the amounts can be debit also. So you must have noticed in the question that after writing an amount, they write debit DR in bracket, isn't it? They're actually giving you hint that the amount is to be debited. So interest on capital, salaries, commission, share of profit will be included in the credit column. As you can see here in the profit and loss appropriation account, whatever the item has been debited here, interest on capital, salaries, commission, share of profit, these will be credited here. Okay, in PL appropriation account the items are debited, and in the partners capital account the same items are now credited. Okay, this balance CD, what is this? I'll explain, just wait. So you can see here interest on drawings is credited. Now in partners capital account the same interest on drawings is debited here. You can see here this interest on drawings is credited. Now the same is interest on drawings is now debited here in partners capital account along with drawings. So how can we have this balance CD also in both the sides, in both the column, I mean both the sides of the account? If balance is coming positive, okay, if the balance is positive then it will come in the debit column. If the balance of capital account is positive, it will come in the debit side. That is, if the total of credit side is more, okay, and the total of debit side is less, then whatever be the difference here it will be written. But if the balance of debit column is more and the total of debit credit side is less, then we subtract and we write the difference out here. Okay, so if any amount is coming in the credit column, then it is a negative amount, I mean the negative capital account. Okay, and this debit will be the positive amount. And the same thing applies in the current account as well, the same thing. Okay, I have not changed anything here, I have only changed the name. Okay, all the items are same. Whatever the questions are there, okay, we will start with the next video. The items are already ready for the next video. So but before that I want you to know all these things, okay, learn these things by heart, okay, and then we can start with the new video. uh, okay, I want to tell you about this interest on capital, why it is still empty. Because in interest on capital we will not have so much of problem. Okay, that is why the video is still empty, because I want to explain you with the illustration as we go with. But there are certain things which is to be explained before. So I want you to learn these things that I have mentioned here in this video, okay, with proper dedication, okay, and learn them by heart. Okay, thanks for watching.